getting a chance to spend time with one of the greats in the National Hockey League, Keith Robinson, in his, this is his lair. This is your
new digs.
This is your kingdom here at Warrior Ice Arena. Boston Bruins head equipment manager. We really appreciate a few minutes with you. We're talking about the Sparx machine. Now, how long have you been in the equipment business at the pro ranks?
Oh, about 30 years now.
Okay, so 30 years of doing it. Did you ever think, let's go back 25, 30 years, that you would trust your skates to a machine and not using your big fancy machine where you've got to hand hold it and do it?
No, I didn't. I didn't think, I mean, obviously there's a lot of advances and all kinds of technology, but I didn't think there'd be something that would replace, you know, the big sharpeners that we've used.
So were you skeptical at first when Sparx came to you?
Of course.
Yeah. What helped convince you when they came to you originally and to trust this? And I know you still use your hand machine at times, your regular machine, but you use this a lot, and we'll get into that. But what convinced you that this was all right?
Just anything that is introduced to us, from a new blade itself or a skate or a stick, anything has to be kind of gone through the rigors of like trial and error, and it's got to be tested at this level. It can't be, you know, it works, you know, in youth hockey. It has to be tested with these guys to be convinced.
And so you did it on, you tried it out for, and on how many, like regular, what's a regular day of skate sharpening for you? How many sharpenings do you think you did for these guys to test it before you were convinced on this?
We dabbled with it a little bit a year ago, and you know, in hindsight, it probably would have been fine. But I was just taking my time getting into it, and you know, we brought it back in for this training camp, and we used it all through training camp, and we didn't hear anything from anybody feeling, you know, any difference. Like, I was concerned that it might just be a little different feel, a subtle.
And that's important to these guys.
Absolutely. Any subtle, 7/8 could be 7/8 in that machine, this machine. But you're always worried, like, are they going to be sliding at 7/8? Or are they going to be grippier, a little more bite than what they're used to at 7/8? But no one said anything throughout camp, so then it started to sink in. I don't think they really noticed a difference.
All right, so tell us kind of like a typical usage for this, because there's different ways that you can use it. You can use it for the main sharpening, you can use it to clean. How do the Bruins and you and your assistants use this machine?
You know what, it's funny, I've talked to the other guys in the NHL that have them, and we all seem to be doing a little something different with it. I like I'll come over after a game and put the skates out and prepare for the next morning's practice. And if I see some edges that are got some blemishes, but just need to be brought back out, I can run in, throw it on while I'm checking the next one, and let it make a pass or two depending on what I see as, you know, a blemish, how bad it is. But then I talk to some of the other guys. They're using it more if there's a real bad one. They want to run it, let's let it sit there and take the material off and try to get down to the bottom of the, you know, the ding in the blade. So everyone's using it a little bit differently. I like using it to clean them up for the next morning's practice. Okay,
how easy was it for you to use when the first time you got the Sparx machine? How simple was the technique or the operation for you?
It's pretty user friendly. It's, you know, it only took, I don't know how long we were going through like the, you know,
the manual,
and the hands-on kind of tutorial that we got. It didn't take much. It was all pretty clear how you know, center it and adjust any of the.
And now you have different wheels, right? So we have all these. I don't want to. These were nice and big, but you got all these different wheels that you can put on there, and this is for the different hollows on there.
Yep. They're all the hollows are available. Certainly all the ones we use. I don't know of any out there that I can't get done with the wheels that I have here.
What about guys at this level, the NHL level? I mean, profiling and radius is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Does it change that at all? Was there any concern with that, or have you noticed anything at all? Like some guys have a, big haul or a long radius, a short. I mean, does it impact that at all? Have you noticed anything there?
No, I haven't seen any change in that. It maintains, the same pressure throughout the pass, so it doesn't change the profile at all. You're actually more likely to change a profile over time sharpening manually.
Really? Because of the different pressure then? Right?
Everyone's got a little different technique, and it's hard to get the same exact pressure every time. And as you wear the blade down, it can come out of profile.
So what would you say after you've had we'll call it a full year now, between last year dabbling, this year training camp, and now we're well through this season, is the best attribute for you, for your staff with the Sparx machine?
It kind of, there's a couple things. There's a couple answers to that. It kind of frees me up. Like I said, it can be over here doing its thing while I'm getting the next pair or working on something else. It kind of, it just frees up that little bit of time. But also, as you know, we're traveling a lot, and sometimes there's guys back here that are injured, and if they're back here injured, the medical staff's dealing with them. There's not necessarily an equipment guy that sharpens skates here, but we've shown enough of the guys that are back here how to use it. So when we're on the road and they say they do something to their edge, they can come in and sharpen it themselves.
Really?
Yeah.
You trust those guys enough, huh?
Yeah.
Like usually equipment guys are like, no, don't go near my stuff. I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
That's what speaks volumes about this, then, right?
Yeah. Well, our skating guy Kim is very familiar with it now, and he's usually back here skating with the injured guys. So he's kind of my guy on the scene to make sure everything goes right. But we've had good luck with it, no complaints.
So, okay, if a pro guy, 30 years in the business, can use this, and you've got some true superstars right across the hall in that locker room, that I guarantee you, I know a few of them are incredibly picky. I guarantee, we won't name names, but I guarantee you they are.
Yeah.
Then this is the perfect kind of machine for an at-home user too, wouldn't you say? It's simple to use, and it provides great, consistent sharpening. Is there any reason you could think of why it wouldn't benefit somebody at home to use this?
I haven't found any.
No complaints yet?
No? I haven't found any. I think it's like I said earlier, it's very user-friendly. It's I would say self-explanatory, but once you see the little adjustments and stuff like that, it's simple to use.
Okay. Well, this old guy used to be picky, no longer picky. I'm just happy to stand up now when I get up and onto the ice. Yeah. I brought my newer skates in. I've worn them a bit. Have a profile on them too. You just show us how easy it is to use, and we'll go from there. And again, I'll not hold you responsible for me not being a good skater after the sharpen or the Sparx.
You'll be fine. I think you'll be fine. So normally I would check for straightness with my rule, but I think these are pretty good. Just try to center it in the clamp. Get the sides in. It usually defaults to 4 passes. I'm gonna move it down to 2.
Usually, it's all the amount of passes is dependent on how much you need to clean it up, right?
Yeah, and these look pretty good. Like you can leave it on 10 if you're really trying to get rid of some material. But it only needs a few in this case.
I'm like a golfer. I blame I look at the club after I slip.
Of course.
I was skating the other day and I took a little bit of a spill. I fell down everything. I knew it was the blade right away.
Of course. I hear that quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's always the tools.
Yes, it's
not the crafts.
Not the craft.
So your skate's very similar to, the average skate that I'm using. But say it was a goalie skate or a figure skate or something different, if there's an easy adjustment to change the height of where it's going to make initial contact and run as fast, that simple red lever you can click up or down.
And it's, I mean, we were here before we started talking here. It's really simple. You literally can open it up. You put the new wheel in, depending on what hollow you use. And as we said, I don't know exactly how many overall numbers there are, but you've seen them all in your 30 years, and you say you've got all of them covered.
Yep.
All the wheels are covered.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All nicely color coordinated, everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. There you go. Look at that.
It's a pretty good finish.
Right there.
Be tough to replicate with a typical machine.
They feel great. All right. Well, this is outstanding. Thank you for your time here. We know you're a busy man this time of year, and the Boston Bruins are in great hands because of this guy and because of this machine too.
Absolutely.